Hiya, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. This video is going to be of help to you if you suffer with any form of mental illness, whether it's something like what I've got, OCD, whether you've got severe depression, anxiety, whatever your condition might be. This video hopefully will be able to give you some direction, if you like. I'm going to start the video off with saying that first of all, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, or anything like that. I'm just a guy that has suffered with OCD for the best part of 40 years, if you like. So I do know quite a bit about it. I'm just going to tell you some of the things that I've done over the years to try and help me cope, and if you like, hopefully you can do the same. The first thing you need to do, if you've got any sort of condition like this, is basically accept that you've got the condition first of all. Yeah, a lot of people, they try and, if you like, act like they haven't got anything wrong with them, and this is not the way to go, because it is an illness. It's something, no one knows exactly what causes it, whether it's a chemical imbalance in the brain or whatever the reason. It is a real condition. Yeah. um, what I would suggest you do first of all is, if you haven't already told someone, is tell someone who you're close to, your partner. If you're feeling down, if you're not feeling great, and talk to someone that you obviously that obviously cares for you, because that's what's got me through over the years. If I'm honest about it, I'm quite a big guy. To look at me, if you see me on the street, you probably think, oh, look at him, he looks all right. But sometimes what you see, if you like, is not always what's actually present. Yeah, I did it for years. I masked my illness, if you like, and only the people that are around me, my close family, if you like, knew what severity, if you like, I actually had. But you need to accept it, and you need to let your family and friends obviously know. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Yeah, it's just something that you've got wrong with you. But the good news is, it's something that can be treated. Um, there's so many things that you can do to help yourself, and that's what this video is about. Um, I'm going to start off with, if you've seen my other video, I talk about occupation. It's very important, if you've got any sort of mental illness, that you keep yourself busy. Yeah, that you keep yourself occupied, and you keep yourself active. This is what I've found. I know, I've just done a video about dealing with OCD and depression at Christmas, and for me, even though it's a happy time now, and it is still a happy time for me, I do seem to, for whatever reason, seem to go a bit lower on the lead into Christmas. Yeah. There's all different reasons that could be. I've mentioned it in the other video. Obviously, my work drops off. The nights start getting darker. There's something called um, obviously, where people are. If you're not in the daylight, this can affect you. So there's ways that you can obviously help yourself. Yeah. Um, at the time of making this video, I've actually gone for another job, because my job this time of year goes down. And I was chatting to my friend earlier who does shift work, and he said to me, he said, Carl, he said, don't do nights, because I can do nights or days. He said to me, do days. And he said, especially with what you've got, he said, you don't want to be working through the night and sleeping through the day, because it'll make you worse. Yeah, so that's something to consider. Try and be out and about, be in the day, be in whatever daylight we have got. Yeah, obviously making this video, it's December the 8th. So obviously it's getting dark. It's dark out and it's miserable, and this can make you obviously feel down. You can get lamps now, that you can just shine on your face. Basically, because it's triggering things in your brain. It's letting you, it's things in your brain that is letting your body know that it's time for you to, if you like, spring into action. So daylight, be in the daylight. If it's a nice day out, go for a walk, because I'm telling you, if you go for a walk, that's going to make you feel better. I've mentioned in my other videos about, I've got animals, and for me, they're not a cure, But for me, when I get in of a night and my dogs greet me, that makes me feel good. So think about even that. If you can't have an animal because of where you live, think about perhaps going and seeing someone else's animal. Go over the park, talk to people. Be amongst it. That's going to make you feel better. Um, I'm going to talk briefly about medication as well. Medication, I take something called citalopram, which is an antidepressant, which I think it does work. At the time I'm making this video now, I don't feel, I feel a little bit, I think when I started going for this job, I feel a little bit apprehensive. It's worrying me a little bit that I'm going to be able to deal with it. And obviously, you've got a lot of things on your mind about Christmas and money and all these different things. But generally, citalopram for me is a pretty good antidepressant. I think people as well, just going on subject with mental illness, they get a bad press because you talk about mental illness, they think that you're going to start freaking out and doing things like that. All it simply is a chemical imbalance in your brain. It's just something that's making you feel low. It ain't it's not, it is a problem, but it ain't nothing to be ashamed of. So, don't let anyone tell you any different. Do you know what I mean? Um, but yeah, medication. Make sure you visit your doctor. I would recommend you seeing your GP, and if you can get an appointment to see your GP, that's another matter. But yeah, go and see your GP and explain how you feel. Um, and prior to going, I remember years ago when I went and see someone, the lady said to me, keep a diary of your day and how you're feeling at different times, because sometimes they can see from what you're doing in the day, or in the case when I was out of work not doing, they can see why you're having these little spells of depression, anxiety, concern, whatever you want to call it. So they can tell a lot from that. So we got obviously another big factor is which I think this is where I fall foul. I mean, I ain't massive, but I am slightly overweight, and I know watching other people's videos about dieting, there's there's different foods that are rich in these different omega threes. There's certain foods you can eat, and I would recommend you search on YouTube for that. You want to be eating an apple a day. You want to be eating your vegetables. You want to be eating greens. Not so much. Try not to eat too much red meat. Peanuts, fish. What I've started doing recently, and because my problem is sometimes I get in and I'm starving, hungry, and I reach for like a packet of crisps or two packets of crisps, and then you have you know, a little one of those little apple things with a little apple inside. It's no good for you. It's all sugar. It's all sending back. It's sending good messages at first, but then obviously when you come down from that sugar, you're still left with that problem. So what I do now when I get in from work, I've been having pasta with tuna and pasta, and putting loads of vegetables in it, chopped tomatoes, and putting it in like a wrap. And that's good for you. You know what I mean? It's good for you. I think that when they say you are what you eat, this really is true. You really want to think about your diet. If you're severely depressed, if you're really like, at the stage where you just, cannot cope, and obviously you've got to dial someone, ring up the Samaritans, or ring up somebody that can hopefully, seek immediate help. But if you're like me now, I'm kind of like, I'm just a little bit apprehensive. I'm a bit worried. You know what I mean? Nothing's going to happen to me, but all these little things that you can do, your diet, sleeping properly. I mean, this is something I know, especially the last 2 or 3 weeks, where my job, if you like, has been going. I've not really been going to work as much because it's been raining and I can't get out, and nobody's interested in what I've got to sell. I sell like windows, doors, and no one seems to be bothered about it. And of course, my money's gone like that, so that's making me worry. That's why I've got this job, because my wife said to me, I've been unoccupied, if you like, in my own house. I've been like, you know, kind of thinking what I'm going to do. I started panicking, and she said, You've got your routines out of sync, so you need to have this routine. You need to have this routine. So that's why today, actually, this morning, I've gone and got her. I've been offered a job. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just got to send them my birth certificate, and I'll be working. I'll be working 12 hours a day. Never mind not working. So but that's what I'm going to do. So, but I've done this for two reasons. A, because I know I need the money, but also because my wife said to me, "No, could you sitting about here all day? You're gonna go into one. You're gonna start, yeah, and you got to nip it in the bud. You got to nip it in the bud. That's what you got to do." And I think I don't mean that like, because not everyone can just go and get a job like that. You know what I mean? Not everyone can just, there's, for whatever reason. So, but you've got to occupy yourself. You've got to occupy yourself. My daughter, like, she suffers with OCD, and she's I'm worried sick about her. I'm absolutely worried sick about her because now she kind of like she's working with her boyfriend. They're working in a pub till late at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. She's sleeping during the day. She ain't working loads of hours, and I know because she come down recently. She's not well. She's not well because things are not. Even though she's happy who she's with, she's not. She's sleeping when she should be awake, and she's awake when she should be asleep. And this coupled obviously with her anxiety and her state of mind, and she's got obviously other worries. This is all spiraling. And the purpose of this video is to look at all these different areas. Look at all these different areas of your life that are that you're in control of, because a lot of the things in your life that are perhaps causing you concern are are you can actually alter them. Yeah, like me now. Recently, I've noticed I've been putting on weight, and where I ain't been going out so much, and I've not been so busy. Your wife said you're hanging about indoors. Of course, you've got Christmas. There's crisps and cake everywhere, and you've got to say to yourself, look, I'm gonna take what you're eating on board as being partly a cure for you. It's not going to cure you completely. But I was just watching a video earlier, and this guy was saying that these people that are doing this proper diets, it's been proven that these vegetables, these fish oils, it's all can help raise your mood. So if you then do that and you encompass that, if you like, with perhaps going to bed at a better time and getting up in the morning, right, that's gonna make you feel better. Yeah, again, going back to me at the minute, that's what I've not been doing. Where I've not been having to worry, if you like, about getting up and working so much because it's raining. I've been sitting there some nights till 1 o'clock. The other night, my daughter, 2 o'clock in the morning, watching Netflix. Do you know what I mean? And of course, you wake up in the morning at 8 o'clock, and then you start thinking about what am I going to do today? And this is the problem. This is the problem. I don't know about you, but this is especially my problem in the week, in the month up till Christmas and the month after. Yeah, I'm not as busy doing what I normally do, and that gives me time to dwell. I can't think of any other word, and it's no good for you. It really ain't. So, you know, get a piece of paper, write down, you know, all the different areas: your dieting, what you're eating, your sleeping, whether or not you're sleeping at the wrong times. I know this is a fundamental reason with my daughter. This is why she is at the minute. Yeah, you've got to go to bed. If you've got to be up at 7 in the morning, go to bed at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. The whole saying, in by 11, up by 7, it's true. It works. Yeah, if you go to bed at 12 and you get up at 6, you're going to feel like shit for the rest of the day. Yeah, I did it once. One night I had 3 hours sleep. I was doing a job years ago, and I was at this party. I wasn't drinking, but I was at this party, and people were making me stay because I was driving, because I had to go to work in the morning, so I thought I can't drink. And I had about 3 hours sleep that night. I felt like a zombie all day. It's no good for you. You've got to eat properly. You've got to sleep properly. You've got to take moderate exercise. Don't go joining the gym and burning yourself out, but go for a half-hour walk. Go for a half-hour, 40-minute walk a day. Go and do something in your back garden. Listen to the radio. Yeah, there's so many things that you can do. I mean, like I say, I ain't cured. I was told by a lady years ago. She said, "You'll always have what you've got. You'll always have OCD. You'll always be a worrier. It's just you. It's just the person you are." But there's so many things you can do about it, and I really am. If you've seen I don't know, if you do subscribe or if you look at my other videos, you'll know that I'm into personal development. I'm trying everything I can to make my situation better, make my mind better, my mental health better, make myself financially better. And it ain't just for me, it's because for my family. I've got 2 children, I've got a wife who cares for me dearly. And at the end of the day, if like my wife said to me earlier when I was worrying about this job, she said to me, you've got to go and do it. You've got to do it for yourself, and I've got to do it for my family. Because if you don't, it's all going to come. It could all come down on you. You cannot allow yourself. And if I'm talking at you now as if you're a person like me. You've got moderate OCD depression, so you're still able to cope on a level. This is the time when you can actually take action to make yourself better. It's when you're really down and you're on the ground. That's when I know it's hard. Yeah, but do some of these things I've said. Just going to go over them quickly before I end the video. Think about what you're eating. Yeah, search on YouTube for things to eat. What to eat if you've got depression. I might even do a video about it, but it's good for um, fish oils. There's nuts. Proteins. You've got to be eating food from all the different food groups. Exercise, if you can, go for, like I say, walk for an hour a day, 40 minutes a day. Try and be around in the daylight, go outside, look around, you look at the trees. I remember this woman years ago, she said to me, just go for a walk over the park, go for a walk around the block. And when you're walking around, look at your surroundings. What are you noticing? The trees, the buses, the whatever, wherever you are. Yeah, and get help. Yeah, get help. I'm waiting now because for what's it for, like, from my GP to see like a counsellor, mental health help and that. Because I go downhill. I get near Christmas and I go downhill. I do. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I've just told you why. It's the weather. It's the rain. It's the cold. It's the lack of you know occupation, and that is why so many people, I think, especially people who are depressed, that is why if they're out of work and and obviously then they start using drugs. They're just not. They're looking for ways of getting themselves better, and you can spiral out of control. I think I'm lucky because I am lucky to have my wife and my 2 children, um, especially my wife, because she has always supported me. I've always supported her. But because a lot of people with OCD don't have partners. I didn't. I kind of did know that. I remember years ago reading an article about that. Because people with OCD, we're difficult to deal with. We're very difficult to live with. But it ain't your fault you got OCD. But it is your fault if you don't try and do something about it. So yeah, food, what you're eating, exercise, counselling, GP appointment, medication, all these different things. All these different things are going to help you in one way or another. But they will only help you if you take action and do it. I'm going to ask you now if you can, if you did find my video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. It's going to help my channel. I do genuinely appreciate it. If you can, give it a thumbs up, and if you can, like and share my video. I really appreciate it. But please, if you can, hit that subscribe button, and then obviously if I do other videos, you'll get to see, they'll come up on your notifications and you'll see them right away. Thanks so much. And at the time I'm making this, I think it's the 8th of December today, and I hope you have a nice Christmas, because but don't eat too much of what you're not supposed to eat. Don't eat too many. Don't drink too much. and don't eat too much crap because I did it last Christmas and I paid the price. Thank you.